What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another beautiful episode and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. The
so,
spooky.
the spooky season. Um, so, today we're actually going to talk about our top 15 anime, or spooky anime. I guess you call it horror anime, Halloween anime, animes that are just good for spooky season. We got some toe curlers on here, right? Is that what you
we
call
got
it?
we got some real chilling, some real
Chilling.
chilling thrills.
Ooh,
We also got some light-hearted thrills. We'll get into it.
Lighthearted for spooky season. Actually, but before we get into it, we do have a sponsor, David.
Oh,
We have our first sponsor.
okay.
So they gave us a script to read. I don't know. We don't do sponsors. I don't know. So let me go ahead and thank you for our first sponsor. Let's go ahead and read this out. So our first sponsor is going to be the members of Tekkaden. So, have you ever needed cargo transported during a war, but you didn't trust adults? Well, look no further than the children of Tekkaden.
Mm-hmm.
With a B class shipping and an A class crew, you won't have to worry about your cargo. You only have to worry about it a little bit. You shouldn't be concerned about pirates or Arborough with Tekkaden. You will have top of the line security with known faces as Barbatos watching your belongings. Make sure you call 1-800 Space Rat to get a quote today. Items may be damaged during the war. So thank you, Tekkaden, for sponsoring this episode of the Otaku Octagon. And if you guys, need some cargo transported during the space war that's going on right now, make sure you reach out to them, 1-800 Space Rat, to get your quote. So,
I'll
all
definitely
right.
give him a call.
Yeah, I definitely have some things that I need transported right now. And, U-Haul's very expensive these
Yo,
days.
eBay's tripping. They take forever,
They
like
do.
2 months to send stuff. I'll give them a
I
call
need
for that.
I need Tekkaden to ship some of my anime figures to me. So, all right. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into it.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's stick with the season. Stick with the scary, the spooky.
Right.
The first one I do want to bring up is going to be the Junji Ito Collection.
Junji
So,
Ito Collection.
mhm.
Yep.
So this anime, of course, it is based off of manga, and it's essentially a collection of different short films, spooky, scary, chilling films. And honestly, the anime is decent.
Mhm.
They did try to follow along with the manga. Of course, things didn't play out or look the way one would have initially imagined. So,
Yeah.
in my opinion, if you do want to check out the title, do check it out, the manga, because it's actually one of the best selling, best horror, chilling, thriller mangas that exist to this day. So, have you haven't seen it, have you?
I haven't seen the Judy. I've seen the title
Mm-hmm.
a few places. Once again, just me being a poor content creator. I haven't seen everything. Sorry, guys. But I haven't seen it. That's not. I think it's pretty old, isn't it? It's like
Yeah,
an
yeah, it's
older.
really old. Like this one, you have an excuse. Like the anime version isn't that good, but the manga
Yeah.
is really good. The author, the mangaka, he's actually well known when it comes like to the sci-fi or the
Mhm.
spooky side of the manga world. So I would check it out if you do have the chance. The manga
Fun,
or the anime.
yeah. Fun fact: we had a costume contest last night
Hmm.
for the kids for the kiddos at the trunk or treat, and there was like a 7 year old dressed as the what's the thing from Spirited Away with the white mask and the black, like the black fucking like
Really?
that spirit, yeah, that spirit or
Yo,
whatever. Actually, it was pretty good costume,
that's pretty dope.
but the mom had to like guide him or her. I don't know, I couldn't tell, but like they
Hmm.
literally couldn't see out of the fucking mask and they were bumping into shit. I thought it was pretty funny. So, but I
Yo,
saw a
that's
lot of anime costumes last night for
damn.
the
I'm
Halloween
doing that.
shit.
I'm doing that.
Yeah,
That thing's
yeah.
pretty
So
spooky too. Yo, did they
that
have the
shit.
whole
If I saw
setup?
it,
Like it
it
was
was
like
just
all hunched
yeah,
over and everything?
so it was like hunched over the whole black sheet over them with the white mask.
Yo,
It was
that's
fucking. It was pretty
lit.
cool. It was
Did he
pretty cool. There was like
win?
no, you know what? I'm not trying to get on a side note here, but that fun contest was fucking rigged,
Rigged.
rigged,
Yo.
rigged.
Always rigged.
Like my son was dressed as a pirate. Good
Hmm.
pirate costume. Nice pirate
Did you give
costume.
him the sword?
Everything. Yep. Sword. Everything. Everything was on point. Right.
Yeah.
The person who won was it was a girl who won in his category. She had a dress on with rainbow shit at the bottom. Like, what do you? We see rainbows every day. You know what you don't see every day? A fucking pirate. All right.
Yo, they
Like she
cheated.
was a rainbow. Like, and then in the higher kids category, the person who won was like like the higher kids category above his. They had like Toby, like from Naruto. They had that spirit from Spirited Away. Somebody was dressed as Carl from The Walking Dead. Great fucking costume. Yeah, with the eye patch, the hat, and everything.
And he
The gun
won.
belt. Nope. You know who won? A
Who?
girl that had a orange sparkly outfit on with wings. Like, what even is
Yo,
she? What even is
what
she?
are you? Where did you
What are you
come from?
doing?
Tell me. What is
Yeah,
your
like
backstory? Tell me your
there were some
backstory.
there were some good fucking costumes on stage. There was a fucking they did like an older one. Somebody was dressed as Spike Spiegel though, which kind of cool. The costume was a little,
But he
but
had like the suit and everything
he had like the suit. The hair was a little
though. I
off,
mean,
but
yeah.
yeah. But I thought it was pretty
Netflix
good. I
didn't do
just
any better. So,
yeah. Side note on the
side note on a side note.
on the spooky season outfits for Spirited Away. But no, um, I have seen this next one. So Elfen Lied. You actually put me onto that one.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't finished it, but it is definitely a really good anime. It's older. Again, like I didn't know it was that old until I actually started watching it. But that shit is like brutal. That's a pretty brutal anime, and it has a lot of spooky undertones with the music and kind of like the whole. It's kind of like mental fuckery, I guess you can call it, because she doesn't know what she's doing until like her self defenses kick in and shit like that, and it's very creepy. It's a very creepy one. If you guys don't want to check that out, Elfen Lied. I think that one's on Hulu as well too.
Yeah, I think so.
So, but yeah.
No, Elfen Lied was really good. It's a lot of blood. So if you're looking for something that's gonna be hella lit when it comes to the fights, a lot of
Yeah.
blood, a lot of body parts flying everywhere. That one, Elfen Lied is pretty good in that
She's
part.
she's OP as fuck.
She's crazy as well. So the whole crazy anime girl
Oh, yeah.
definitely have to hit that category as well. But Elfen Lied, definitely something if you want to see a lot of blood, a title you do want to watch. The next one though, I think I suggested this one to you as well. It's actually the wallpaper on my, like when I lock my computer. This chick is like the wallpaper. She's like covered in blood. She's psychotic. It's Mirai Nikki.
Pause. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it yet? Yo,
I've
it's
seen the
actually a pretty good
wallpaper.
title. It's actually a pretty
Yeah.
good title. It's same level, it's newer than Elfen Lied, but same level of blood, same level of body parts flying everywhere. This girl, she's literally psychotic. She literally has some form of PTSD. She killed her parents. She killed herself. Like it's a whole level of crazy. But the main character isn't crazy. It's just the side character, the sporting character, is the crazy one. So definitely another Halloween favorite to watch.
Okay. So, moving on to Berserk. So, I love Berserk. I will say this is probably on the lower tone of a Halloween spooky season kind of thing. It is very bloody and very gory and graphic, but there's really only a few parts in here that would really be good for Halloween, I guess you'd call it. And I think that's when Griffin becomes one of the lords of like chaos or whatever they call him, when he becomes one of the gods. Because like when they go to that underworld and there's like body parts and skulls and heads and shit below them, and like everybody's getting fucked up, and his whole crew, like the whole army, dies in there. The Silver Eagles or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
But whenever Griffin shows up in that, like when he becomes the guy, he has that black fucking crow mask on. He has the full black outfit on. I mean, it gets really fucking spooky when it comes to that type of shit. It's not like I wouldn't call it like the most spooky anime. It's just
Yeah.
really bloody and really graphic.
I mean, it doesn't have to be spooky. Berserk's
Yeah.
really good with having like a chill, mellow tone with great
Yeah.
fight scenes, real bloody scenes. Like, there's some jump scares throughout the show. Like, he's going through a
There's a few,
whole
yeah.
mental thing throughout
Yeah.
the show. But no,
It's
definitely
very-
if you want something more low pace.
It gets really creepy after the whole Griffith thing. Like after Griffith betrays everybody, it gets really creepy after that. So
Yeah.
no spoilers. Berserk's been out for fucking 30 years. So
They're doing something new with that, though. I heard they're like doing a movie, something like that.
They're making the movie into an episode. If you've seen the movie, you don't need to watch the show. It's they're doing the Golden Age arc, because I love Berserk. Berserk's obviously, I got the books up there, but I don't have all of them yet. But like they're doing the Golden Age, the Golden Age arc, into a show, so they're making the movie a show, which is kind of dumb. It's kind of like how they did the Mugen Train for Demon Slayer, and they made it a show, except for there's not really any extra material in there. They just kind of they call it remastered, but the anime looks the same. It's a little cleaner. It's a little cleaner, but
I feel like that's the
still
preliminary though.
It's still that very blocky anime, that very 3-dimensional. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. Yeah, that's the one thing. My one biggest complaint about Beserk is the animation. It's always been the animation. If the show was like Demon Slayer level animation, or something like Jujutsu Kaisen, even, like, I think it would be great. It would be a fucking fantastic show. But it's that very blocky, 3-dimensional.
But the story itself is good.
The story itself is great.
That's why you're collecting it.
That's why I love it. Yeah,
and you're gonna read it.
So, I don't know if I'm gonna read it.
And you're gonna read it.
These type of books need to be sealed because of this shit that's inside.
You ain't gonna read it, guys.
One day. If y'all are gonna get the Beserk books or watch Beserk, make sure you're not around people that would judge you, because Beserk gets a little interesting.
A little interesting. It has a Goblin Slayer moment.
There's a part. There's a part in there that.
Some people say it's their favorite part of the show, which is really weird.
Which is not okay.
But it's
that's suspect.
It's
It's very suspect.
It's not something. Don't have your kids watch it, guys.
Or your parents.
Or don't watch it while your parents is watching you.
Or if your significant other doesn't know that you like anime and doesn't support you like ours do, don't have her there either.
Yeah, don't do that either.
Yeah. So if you go to watch Beserk and you've never seen it before, when you get to the part where they go to the underworld and he's trying to save Griffith, just make sure you watch the whole 4 episodes by yourself.
Or you can skip through it. That's also a choice, guys. Just skip through it.
Don't skip it. It's a good show.
It's good, but if you're little weak in the stomach, we'll say that. You just go ahead and skip
books,
through it.
Read that part, and then go back to the anime.
There you go. There you go. Get all the books, but read that part.
And these aren't like regular mangas. These are like big ass books. I did it on an episode.
Yo, they're like a collector.
They have big pictures, big what do you call it? What do you call them? The little the pages with the blocks or whatever. I'm not a manga guy. I don't freaking know.
Page blocks.
Yeah, people call them a specific things, like the art inside there that you're reading.
Oh, I just say it's the art for like showing you what a character looks like. Like the whole page would be like the scene, so you have a better understanding of like what the scene looks like, what the people look like.
Yeah, so it's bigger than like normal manga books are like that big. This is like, so I go over it in one of my I go over it in one of the episodes in the past. So go back and check that out.
But speaking of, I finished 2 books this week while I was working. Since I had to be up there, I also decided to bring 2 books. I finally finished Jujutsu Kaisen 0, finished it, and also remember those 3 books I got from the store. I finished one of them. I finished the first one. It was pretty good. I'm looking forward to the second and third one.
I'm picking back up on the collection a little bit. I got more Fire Force.
Oh, you did?
I need number 5 though. I got I got 4 and 6.
When's Benny coming?
I don't know. It said it was supposed to be delivered on Tuesday of last week, and it hadn't showed up yet.
Oh, hell no.
It says it was shipped, and it's on its way, and it said it reached the U.S. facility, like, in South Carolina, but it hasn't got here yet.
It better come.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, fucking same. That's why I'm trying to, I'm going to move that fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Down, and I'm going to put Benny right there.
I mean, it might be too big.
No, I don't think so. It was like 80. It was like 85. I purposely made that shelf. If you can see, like that one's skinnier than that one, because a lot of the Fire Force figures are taller because they're doing an action. So I made that bigger for a reason, because I knew that I was eventually gonna get Fire Force figures.
Smart.
Just like I used to have the Itachi up there, that big one with the crows around him, but I moved that one so I could put Kakashi and the new Naruto up there and shit. So, anyways,
let's move on to the next one. Devilman Crybaby. I know that's something that
that shit is rough.
You've watched. Devilman Crybaby is on Netflix, so it's definitely on Netflix. There is an older version of it. Don't watch it. I started to, and I was like, ooh, ugh, I don't like this. So definitely watch the new version, but it's crazy. I would definitely say it's
Shit is
something you
rough.
will watch on Halloween if you want to watch something crazy and scary. There's some scary parts, some chilling and freaky parts, but it's
It's rough.
crazy.
That's all I'm gonna say. That show is like,
Like, think about how to make a devil
like,
man. Think about how to
you know
make a
what-
devil. What they got to do.
what's weird
It's
is when I
crazy.
first started watching it,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really like it because once again, like the animation and stuff like that, like I'm just wasn't really a fan.
Yeah,
But
I
then
wasn't a fan.
when they started getting into it and they started getting real bloody and like, I was like, this is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And so like,
And it worked with the animation too, like how they
Yeah,
moved, how they fight. Like
yeah.
it made sense
Like the
with the
fucking
animation.
run-
Like it
the
became like
fucking-
super long.
the running and shit.
Yo, oh, the running,
Yeah.
bro.
What the fuck is going on? I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely if you're trying to watch, if you're like to watch anime on Halloween night and you got your boys or friends or whoever you're with you, Devilman Crybaby is definitely something good.
Don't watch this with your friends. Don't listen to
Why
him.
not?
Watch this by yourself. This is
If you got
crazy.
friends, well, if I'm
Like-minded friends.
yeah, I'm sure there are people out there that watch like spooky anime and shit, or watch certain animes during certain times of year for specific reasons. Like people watch Halloween movies on Halloween. So if you're trying to find an anime you haven't seen Devilman Crybaby, then definitely watch that with your.
You
like-minded
remember
anime.
Devilman Crybaby? I
Yeah.
mean, do you remember all the parts?
Yeah, quite a bit.
I don't feel
That's why
like
I
this
said
is something you
it's
should
rough.
watch with your friends. I mean, like if you have like-minded friends, sure. Like I would watch this with you.
Sure.
I wouldn't
You're in
watch
the
this
Marine
with.
Corps, I've seen people watch worse things with their friends. So,
Actually, you're right.
Sir.
You got
Sir.
that one.
sir. um,
No,
All
but
right,
that's
so-
definitely a good one though. The next one though
Yeah.
is actually a title called Another. I'm pretty sure you haven't seen Another, right?
no, I have not.
Another's actually it's crazy. It's really suspenseful. People die gruesomely. It's not like body parts flying, but it's about kids dying. So the premise of the show is there's this classroom that is cursed. And the curse is it always is supposed to have a certain number of students, but every certain amount of years, an extra student somehow ends up in this class. And they all decided when this happens, we ignore the student, act like they don't exist, which is the first premise. Is like, why this doesn't make any sense. But then you start finding out about the curse. So they initially they act like the student doesn't exist. Well, a new student came this year, and he didn't understand. He didn't know anything about it. So he's
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean?
Like they're being mean.
Yeah, they're
Why would
being
I
mean.
do-
Why would
yeah.
I do that? So he didn't
Yeah.
ignore the student. And then kids started to die. So if you want to watch something suspenseful, something scary, something like, fuck, what is happening right now?
Put a quarter in your ass. You played yourself.
Yo, this show is definitely a good one to watch. I would definitely add this one to the
That actually
spooky
sounds
category.
Pretty interesting.
It's really
actually.
good, bro. I'm being dead ass with you. It's really
I might
good.
have to put that on the list. That sounds
Definitely for a
actually pretty
Halloween
interesting.
show. If you like you said, sitting there on Halloween, like, damn, we can watch something real quick. Watch Another. It's like 12 episodes. Watch it.
Okay.
Knock it out in a few hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, watch that. So the next one moving on to is Soul Eater. Now, there are two anime on our list that I think, in my personal opinion, represent the Halloween spirit the most on this. This one of them is Soul Eater, and the only reason why I say that is because the whole show is literally Halloween all the time.
All the time. It's a Halloween
There's
world.
skulls- It's a Halloween world. It's literally witches and like skulls and people dressed up and like,
Smiling moons.
yeah, there's freaking like the music is literally Halloween music. Like the intro of the show is like that, ding, 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 like it's Halloween themed music.
And he's not being biased because it's the sequel to Fire Force. He's not being biased.
I still don't even agree with that until I
Bro,
actually get
you gotta
more
watch it.
information.
Just
I know.
read it.
I have to get more information on that, but I'm not being biased. That I actually really love Soul Eater, and we actually have discussed this before.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of our first episodes we ever did, I told you about Soul Eater, and you're like, I saw it, but you know,
I sat
but
down with
it's
you
a
and watched it too.
it's a really good fucking show. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's really fucking good with the whole Meisters. The whole premise is essentially, to go over it again, is there's Meisters and then there's weapons. So being a Meister is somebody who controls a weapon, and a weapon is a person. So like say David and I was the Meister and he was the weapon. He would turn into like a scythe, a sword, guns, whatever kind of weapon that he turns into. I don't have control over that, but whatever weapon he is, we are like best friends, and our souls have to like be on the same like wavelength. And I use him to fight battles, fight demons, fight monsters, and like all kinds of stuff. And then being a weapon, weapons eat the souls of these monsters, and they grow. And if you eat 100, or if you eat 99 monster souls, Kishin souls, and one witch soul, you can become a death scythe. And a death scythe is a personal scythe used by Lord Death himself, the Grim Reaper. And pretty much it's about Maki and her weapon, Soul Eater. His name is literally Soul of the show. And they're trying to go around and pretty much do this and stuff. But it's literally a Halloween world. That's literally why I think it's one of the best like actual Halloween shows you can watch. It's a really good show though. It's not super bloody or anything like that, but I think there's I wish they would have continued it. I mean, it's very sad that they didn't. I think they definitely stopped it on a cliffhanger.
Is it over?
Yeah, it's never coming back.
I thought it was. That you were saying that it was coming out with more episodes at one point.
Not that I can remember. I wish it did. I mean, I don't know.
You look into that.
I wish it was.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I already know it's good. It's just like it's one of those investments. Like it's easy to invest in like a 12 episodes, something 24 episodes. But I know it has multiple seasons, and I need to watch it. This is not something I can just quickly binge.
It's only 2 seasons.
Oh, it's only 2 seasons?
Yeah, it's like 24 episodes.
Oh, that's not bad then. I can watch that.
24, 26. So Soul Eater is not going to be removed because the manga has ended because the show severely deviated from the manga, and the mangaka was upset. They deviated like way at the end. Not like the majority of it. The majority of it was on point and accurate. I mean, most animes they like deviate a little bit for cinematic reasons. But towards the end, they deviated quite a bit, and the mangaka wasn't happy, so they ended it early. There was going to be another few chapters, but they ended it, and so the show was never renewed.
Oh, wow.
So, good job.
Why didn't they just, end the show? Why in the? He's gonna have to. He's gonna come back and finish it.
I don't read manga, so I'm pissed that they ended the show in the first place. But it is what it is.
It's the show's fault.
It is. I never said it wasn't, but like even if they deviated from the manga, because once again, I don't read mangas. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't have even known. I wouldn't have even known if.
You don't. But there's going to be the target audience, not us. We're just the ancillaries. The target audience is Japanese people who've read the manga. Most of them have read the manga, followed the manga, only watch the show because they follow the manga. They're upset.
That's fair. I'll give you that. They're actually not another side note from the store getting mangas. There's these really cool Soul Eater like mangas, but they're not like normal manga books. They're like black and yellow hard copies. They look kind of like the Beserk books, but they're a little thinner and like shinier, and it's black and yellow as like the Soul Eater. And each book has a cool big graphic of one of the characters. And they have all of the books over at the bookstore. I'm thinking about getting those.
I don't know. It's souring that like you always know it's not over. Like it's not a finished product, and it will never be.
Yeah. I just like shows that really resonate and sit with me. I want to collect them. Got to catch them all,
All right. What's next on our list, though?
So the next thing on our list is going to be a show called Rosario Vampire.
Rosario Vampire. You haven't seen that one.
I have not seen Rosario Vampire.
Shoot.
I have heard of it.
So
I've heard of it.
Rosario Vampire is it's etchy. It's one of the earlier etchy titles that when I was like really into my etchy phase, like watching a whole bunch of
Bloody
shows.
Halloween.
I watched High School DxD and it got me into my etchy phase. Let's be real here. And I started looking for titles purposely that had the same vibe going on Google. Shows like High School DxD. This was one of the shows because that's when I found out what etchy meant. And for an etchy show, it was fairly decent. Like when you watch etchy shows, you're not watching it for the plot. Let's be real here. You're not here for the plot. So it was decent because it actually had a plot, but it also had the random sitcom feel. Like every episode didn't really link to the next until you realize it all came to a certain close. So it was decent, but when it comes to like a Halloween feel, it was basically a school of Halloween monsters, werewolves, vampires, ghosts,
Monsters University. Got it.
Yeah, so there's your Halloween feel right
Monsters,
there. So you're looking for an etchy Halloween show, Rosario Vampire. There you go. You're welcome.
Speaking of etchy, I can't watch Immortal Guild anymore.
Bro, how far did you get?
I can't.
How far did you
Episode and a half. I couldn't.
Show.
You know why?
Sir.
You know why?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir.
Specific point when I stopped. No, hear me out.
Okay.
There's a specific point when I stopped. After two of the girls got fondled, right?
Yeah.
Fondled. And it was very, very, very edgy, as it is, which we knew, right?
Yeah, you knew that.
When he went back to the guild and said, she said, I gotta go to school. And he said, well, what college do you go to? And she said, and I quote, college? I'm in high school. I'm in my first year of high school. I said, click.
He was, when that happened, if you didn't watch any further, he was like,
oh, no.
You're 15?
Yeah, and he said, make sure. No, that's what he said. He said, make sure that the next people that join are at least 18 years or older. But what happened? The next person that joined was not 18.
Who was it?
It was the
tall girl.
No, it was the mage. It was the black mage.
How old is she?
Or the dark mage. She was 16. And she got, man, I was like, I'm done.
But the one after that was 18. I
was
can
like,
tell you that.
Yeah, the night.
The night, yeah.
Yeah,
She was like 18, 19.
I was like, I'm done.
It's super etchy. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know this right now, guys. It's the etchiest thing that you've ever etched before.
Garbage. It is a garbage anime.
It is.
It doesn't start. There's no plot. There's no story. He goes to the guild, picks up a person to train, takes him out. They get sexually assaulted, brings him back, gets another girl.
There's a story. A story starts to formulate. It's going to be because apparently the monsters is something weird where the monsters are attacking them but not really killing them. They're purposely keeping them alive so they can feed off their magical energy.
By sexually assaulting them.
Yes.
Don't watch it. Drop. When we do our hotter drop next week. When we do our hotter drop next week, I'm gonna say drop. So
you're just gonna.
This is the most pedophilic, worst, gross anime.
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with him.
Click.
Drop it.
Click.
Drop it.
Click.
Don't even start.
Even watch it.
Don't even
these are
begin.
15. These are children, and I honestly. And it's funny that I'm saying that. It's funny right now, but seriously, like that shit was gross. I'm gonna be honest. Like
it's pretty
like
bad.
When I found out, not that it was gross, like what was happening, but when I found out that they literally made a show and a manga about underage girls, this happening to them, I was like, that's fucking disgusting. Like, I'm not watching this shit.
Look at most of the titles.
There are a lot of ones that are like that, but like that's not to this.
Level. To this degree is really bad. It's really bad.
Anyways, I digress.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a little rant of mine. That shit pissed me off.
No, from that very moment, I was like,
I'm out. I'm done.
But then he was like, make sure they're at least 18. I'm like, okay, all right. So they're not gonna, all right, and yeah, I forgot about.
I texted you last night, and I was like, bro, I can't watch another episode of this. I was like, anyways. The next one.
I haven't been able to see it as yet, but I know they came out with a 4th episode. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it as yet.
Nope. So the next one on our list
from you
is Tokyo Ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
So Tokyo Ghoul is a good one, and everybody knows Tokyo Ghoul is actually my split screensaver with Kaneki and his fucking what do they call it?
Wings?
No, No. They call it. It's a specific power that they have. It's like for My Hero Academia, they have quirks. He has a fuck. Oh
Let
my
me
god.
let me go ahead and let you know why he's thinking about this. My hot take about Tokyo Ghoul. Only season that was good was the first season. Every season after that progressively got worse. It
Yeah.
had so much potential, and it just
Yeah.
like this is where we are now. This is what we've become. He has this little whole mental lapse where he completely forgets who he is, and he starts working for the organization that's out there to kill ghouls like him. And then again, he gets his memory back, and then he leaves, but he's still friends with it. It's such a weird predicament. I hear the manga is really good, so if you really want to pick up the manga, pick it up. Is it spooky? Is it scary? Does scary things happen in the show? Of course, it's a spooky show, but no, no. For me, it's a no. It's pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty cool watching the fight scenes. Even in the second and third season, the fight scenes were lit, but the story just dropped dramatically. You know me. I don't like it if the story isn't good.
Yeah. I can agree. They're called kagunes, by the way. Um, Pretty much their powers that they have. It's
Hmm.
a very spooky show. I watched all of it only because I really like Tokyo Ghoul. It's probably that's what my mouse pad is. My big ass mouse pad is Kaneki. My fucking thing. I got the Kaneki fucking half kaiju or half Kakuju Kaneki up there for whatever for Funko Pops. But I love Tokyo Ghoul. I think
Hmm.
Tokyo Ghoul is one of the really really good to me. They fucked it up, and the only reason why they fucked it up is because the writer actually turned over, or the producer of the anime, not the manga, but the producer turned it over to somebody else.
Mm,
Um, so they went their own direction with it because
mm,
Tokyo Ghoul, so it's Tokyo Ghoul
hmm.
with him with the white hair and black edges or whatever.
Yeah,
That's not in the manga.
it's not, and that's
That's
why a
that's
lot
its
of
own
people
thing.
hated it
Yeah.
because it just
It
completely veered off from the manga.
Yeah, if they would have stayed with the manga, it would have been a really, really fucking good
I
show. But
agree.
I love Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, I still love it. It's still a really good show. The music's yeah, I love that show. I love the music. I love the fights. I love them using their different powers and the fact like their
I,
whole system for the ghouls for different powers that they have and
if
different
I'm
things that they
thinking
can
about
do.
it,
It's cool.
I'm pretty sure. I think one of the biggest reasons why I love Tokyo Ghoul so much is I think because that was one of the first animes that got me into like anime.
Hmm.
Like besides like Naruto, but I meant like as an halfway in my Marine Corps career when I really started figuring out what anime was. Tokyo Ghoul was one of the first shows I watched.
Yeah, same for me.
Um,
It was one of
so
those. I would say probably like my 10th. What of the shows? Like someone came to me like, "Hey, have you ever seen Tokyo Ghoul?" I'm like,
yeah,
"No." It's like it's on Hulu. I'm like, "I watch anime on Hulu," so I
yeah,
looked it up and I watched it. I'm like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." I love the fights, but the story
yeah.
just hurt. It hurt inside. It hurt somewhere deep, deep, deep inside.
Well,
But moving on from Tokyo Ghoul, don't want to beat that dead horse. I do want to bring up a show called When They Cried. I'm pretty sure you haven't seen this one. It's going to be on the level of Elfen Lied, more up to date, of course. Another When They Cried is super old. So
mm,
they have a newer, updated version of the show. This is the one I watched, but I know they have a older version of the show. Um, they it's a psychological thriller in which this new kid he's come from out of town. He's going to the school. There's a curse in the town. You're not really sure what's going on. Someone dies every episode, and then the next episode it's like nothing happened. Everything's like time reversed. So you as the viewer, you're like, what the what what the fuck is going on? And then you start to realize the curse is like it's a curse, and you start to understand the curse, why they're being trapped in this time loop. It's so essentially they're in a time loop. Who the main people are who are aloof to the time loop, and then it's just essentially a bloody battle between these two individuals where they're trying to fight for. It's essentially gods fighting for who's going to be in control. And this town, they're at the mercy of these gods fighting for essentially control of whether or not time is going to continue to move forward or another god is going to continue to play with their lives like pieces on a chessboard. So if you want to watch a psychological thriller, this is definitely something to watch. It's not to the level of Another. I love Another, but this show it
yeah.
was a pretty good watch. When I was on my whole psychological thriller binge, this is
Mm.
this is one of the shows I watched, and I was like, pretty good. I liked it.
So I mean, I may look that up. Nothing I'll do soon, but I'll definitely look that one up. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the next one we got is my second, the one that I said is the most Halloween in my personal opinion of this whole list,
Mm.
and that's going to be Angels of Death. So, Angels of Death is essentially this little girl is placed into a haunted house. Like it's pretty much a haunted house with multiple floors. Think of 13 floors in Six Flags from fucking 10 years ago. That's
Mm-hmm.
no longer around, and
For good reasons.
each floor has a murderer
Mm.
on it. They don't really have powers. Now they fight like the anime fighting, right? Like how normal human beings couldn't jump up in the air and swing a scythe like that. So it's not like powers, but there's psychotic killers on each floor.
Mm.
And this little girl has to pretty much navigate each one of these floors because she doesn't know where she's at. She has no idea where she's at. So she's navigating each one of these floors, trying to escape from these people that are trying to fucking kill her. She's like, "What the fuck is going on right now?" It's scary. Jump scares out the wing wang. Like I mean, every 10 minutes there's a jump scare.
Mm.
And she actually ends up befriending one of the killers, and he has like wrapping around his face. He has a giant fucking scythe. He actually ends up befriending her, or she befriends him. And he's like, "Get the fuck away from me! Like you're annoying. Don't talk to me." And not really to give away any spoilers, but she's essentially she lost her memory. She actually is the top floor boss
Mm.
of this haunted house. She just got I think she got knocked out by somebody else that they put in there. This is essentially like um, the pre. They kind of explain it, but they kind of don't. Like when you die, this is where you go, and if you survive, like if you were bad, and if you survive the floors, you get to like get a chance to go to heaven, if that makes sense. It's kind of like an arena. It's kind of like an arena for bad people, but it's literally a haunted house with like 4 or 5 floors, and the top floor boss is the one that you have to like escape, and then you get like a chance to go to heaven or whatever. She ends up befriending the guy with the scythe, and they end up kind of going through this house together. Well, she is actually the top floor boss. She just lost her memory because every fight she gets into, she luckily escapes that person or kills that person.
Mm.
Because and then they get replaced. Like these floor people, the floor bosses get replaced. These murderers or whatever, they just put new people in there, like new psychos with knives, scythes, bats, whatever they want to kill people with. But it's really fucking good. It's a really good show. It's like I think it's like maybe 10, 12 episodes. It's really short. You know, there's no powers or anything in it, but it's pretty scary, pretty spooky if you're thinking about like, you know, psycho murderers coming after you and you have to like hide and shit the whole time. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty dope. So
I think the craziest part is like they gotta navigate through this horror house and essentially defeat the floor bosses to for a chance to go to heaven.
I think it's either a chance to go to heaven or a chance to get free. I don't think it's as big as heaven, as in like they're dead. I think it's like they're felons and then they get put in these houses, and if they survive it, they get a chance to go free. I don't.
Oh,
I've
okay.
it's been a little bit. It's been a little bit
Mm.
since I've watched it, but I knew something happened to where like people have to go through these things in order to get like freedom.
Mm.
But it's pretty fucking wild. It's pretty
Yeah.
bloody too. So
I mean, I'll check it out.
it's-
I love all the bloody titles.
Yeah. So Angels of Death.
Angels of Death. All right. So of course this is something that we both watch. Parasyte. If you've heard of Parasyte, if you've seen Parasyte, there's no question that it belongs on this top 15 Halloween titles list.
That shit is brutal.
It's essentially a show about aliens have landed on the planet. Essentially, was explained, and they are looking for human hosts. Essentially, their main objective is to kill the human hosts, to take over them and use them for their body. They're going to use their body,
Yeah.
but
Trying to find strong human hosts.
yeah,
Like,
strong
really
human hosts.
that can handle them.
The main character is you would say is the human or the parasite, the alien who actually lands on the planet, and he attempted to take the guy as a human host. I can't remember exactly why he wasn't able to. You remember?
So he was sleeping.
Yeah.
The MC was sleeping in his room, and the parasite jumped through the window, attached itself to his arm, and he took his belt from like the floor or whatever. He took his belt, wrapped it around his arm, and pulled it tight and bit on it. So the parasite couldn't go and like attack his heart and brain,
Yeah.
or whatever. So it was just stuck there on his arm, fighting and fighting and fighting, and he finally won, and the parasite got stuck.
Yeah.
So the parasite got stuck on his arm and couldn't leave him because once it attaches to a host, the only way it can leave is if it dies. So that's why they pick their hosts very carefully.
Yeah.
So unless the human dies or the parasite dies, you can't leave the host once you attach. So he took the belt off and he realized his hand was the fucking parasite. Parasite can't go anywhere. It just like permanently attached to his arm. So that's why he ended up having like the knife hands and all the fucking, he has the eye or whatever on his fucking hand and shit.
Yeah. But
Then
essentially
they
these
they end up
aliens
becoming friends.
Yeah, they end up becoming friends, but essentially these aliens are there for world domination. They plan on taking over the whole world and staying in the shadows as these fake humans, their hosts, living their life. And the human and the alien, the main characters, they end up becoming friends, deciding to work together to essentially fight back, be the saviors. So it's a pretty good show. If you want to watch like some freaky alien stuff, some freaky head movements, knives popping out.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I was still thinking about that ecchi title from earlier, Rosario Vampire. It's a pretty good show. I like the ecchi. But yeah, if you really are trying to watch some real crazy freaky stuff, some pretty decent fight scenes. Like, of course, they do have these fight scenes where they're just flailing around. You just see the knives randomly hitting each other, and it's like,
the one fight scene that actually got me into the show was that the muscle dude with the tank top.
Yeah.
And he goes into the Yakuza hideout and he just slaughters the whole entire Yakuza crew. But what's funny is like I saw the clip of the fight scene on YouTube and I was like, I have to check this show out. But he's like in there, the parasite's in there fighting because he's taking over the body, and he's like, let me see how long it'll take. Let me see how many hits these humans will get on me. And then, like, he gets chopped in the head with the katana. He's like, that's one. And then he kills him. And then he gets shot one time. He's like, 2, 3, 4. And then he kills everybody. He's like, only 4? There was like 50 of you. Only 4.
They're pretty OP, honestly. Once they take over, they're pretty OP. That's why. And essentially, the fact that he wasn't able to fully take over the main character, he's considered weak. So they have to work together. Because they have two minds, and they use these two minds versus these aliens who've actually fully taken over their host. They end up meeting other people. I think I remember that are in the same predicament where both the host and the parasite are still both able mind, and they're fighting back. So it's pretty cool. So the next one we do want to talk about. It's obvious.
It's obvious. Death Note. I mean, you got the Shinigamis, you got people dying, the
whole premise.
Yeah.
Was it you who I was talking to about Death Note, about the whole undertone being like a religious undertone?
I don't think so.
I was talking to someone about where Death Note is essentially a story about God. Because like the music that they use, the visuals that they use for like the outros, the intros, the apple that he feeds the Shinigami, the death god, like all of that is a play on religion, the Christianity religion, or whatever you believe in.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
So it's a pretty good show. It really makes you. It is a seinen. It's not your regular shonen. It's not a Naruto, One Piece, Bleach type of show. It's a seinen. It is meant for an older crowd, and it really makes you think. Like the main character, he really has to play mind game. He's a really intelligent person. Like they established that from the beginning of the show that he is highly intelligent. He can pretty much do whatever he chooses. Whatever he wants to do, whatever he puts his mind to, and he has to play mind games to essentially kill everyone everyone he wants to and get away with it.
Death Note's a pretty obvious pick. We had to kind of put that on.
I mean,
of
course.
So.
Of course. I mean, if you haven't seen it, shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah, shame on you. Now, the next one is not as popular as I thought it was, but so High School of the Dead.
Really?
So I was looking up some stuff about it, and there's not too much about it. Now, I've seen the show. I know we've both seen the show, but it's essentially... So, and I think we talked about this before. You remember that zombie show that came out, All of Us Are Dead?
Yeah.
On Netflix, the Korean drama. It's pretty much an anime version of that.
Exactly.
Just with more guns and,
boobs.
Titties flopping around.
Opai.
Yeah,
mini opai.
It's pretty much about these high school kids who get trapped on top of a high school roof, and then the zombie apocalypse happens, and they have to fight their way through the zombie apocalypse. And they ended up, for some reason, they're like they pick up weapons and they're OP with them somehow. Some way.
Katana, sniper, like
Yeah.
apparently there's a sniper club, there's a
Yeah.
fencing club, and these guys are like the top of their clubs.
Yeah.
You know the whole Japanese
I mean,
anime thing.
it's still a good show.
Oh,
If you're
it's
trying to watch just like a
pretty
zombie,
solid.
if you like zombies and you like anime, like me, I love zombies and I love anime. I would definitely give that one a good rip. It's very bloody. It's pretty fucked up. There's
Yeah.
some parts of it that are pretty fucked up.
But exactly like you said, it's an anime version of We Are Dead. It's literally an anime version of We Are Dead. But the kids are more badass. They do badass things, and it's a lot of boobs flopping around too. So if you're trying to watch a ecchi zombie show, it's
this
pretty
girl
solid.
shoots a bullet. and
We
the
don't
girl
have to
dodges
get
it,
into the
and the boobs
semantics.
separate. and the
But
bullet
think
goes-
about the recoil. The recoil would have definitely have created that type of reaction. I actually applaud the
boobs go
mangaka
like this,
for the
and then
research that mangaka had to do to know that that's what would have happened in a real life scenario. Like I know,
Yeah,
and he
totally.
had to copy it too. That's I applaud him. I applaud him.
I applaud the boobs too. I mean, they're high school kids, but you know.
But just to stick with the whole zombie feeling, if you are really into zombies, this last one is called School Live. If you've ever heard of this, like heard of it, haven't like personally seen it, if someone like showed you like visual art of the show, you were like, oh, this is just some high school kids and it's cool. No.
Like,
So
this life.
yeah, you would think it's a slice of life, essentially. Yeah, you would think it's a slice of life. So the main character is this girl, and she goes to this high school. She has a little club that she hangs out with. They live every day. They always hang out every day. But you start to wonder, like, what the hell is this show about? And you realize, like, they never go home. They're never with other kids. It's like you will see them like in a classroom with other people just sitting there, but you never like seeing a whole bunch of people talking, like the whole high school anime. And then it finally hits you. We're all dead. Everyone's dead. Like this girl is going through PTSD. Everyone is dead. Zombies are attacking, and the people who are a part of her club, the ones that we always see interacting every day, they know what's going on. They're not psychotic. They're not crazy. They're not having a mental break. She's having a mental break. And she sees everything is normal. She doesn't see the blood. She doesn't see the zombies. She sees everything.
She has like combat blindness. Where
Exactly.
She's just not even
She doesn't
seeing
even see
anything.
it. She's hanging out with her friends. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Walking down the halls, but everyone else, the kids who have survived, the teacher who has survived, they blockaded everything. Like it's a real thriller. And then essentially there comes a point where she finally sees what's going on.
Really?
Oh man,
I kind of want to check that out.
It's really good. It's really good. I saw. Remember when we were putting together lists? I was going to list. I'm like, all right, list is good. Oh, I actually got one extra. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, yo, I gotta get 2 out of here. I gotta get 2 out of here. This is a really good PTS series about zombies. These kids working together. Of course, we know the whole Japanese scene. If you want to watch High School of the Dead, if you want to watch We're All Dead, you're gonna understand what's going on. It's the same feel. It's a really good zombie show.
That's funny. You said if you look at the art. So if you look at the art, it's like really nice and cute. Mm-hmm. I looked up the art for it. That's pretty funny.
Someone told me. No, I think I saw it on a list. I saw it on a list, and I saw the art, and I'm like, "What the hell is this?" I finally decided to watch it. Your light went out or something. I finally decided to watch it, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta watch this."
That's funny. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely look that one up. That sounds super hilarious. But that is actually it for our top 15. Now these weren't in any particular order. There's some really good ones on here, and I didn't even know about a few of them. So, happy Halloween, everybody! If you want to watch something spooky and you haven't seen anything on our list, go and check it out tomorrow or tonight or whatever. Get you some nice bloody thrills. Make sure you have some people around you that are like-minded as well.
Some real crazy stuff on there.
Yeah. Be sure to hop on over to our YouTube channel as always. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos. Leave us a comment down below what you think some of your most bloody or horror-filled anime that you like the most. It's okay to admit that you like to see blood and guts and not have a storyline. It's okay.
Blood and guts everywhere.
We understand. But be sure to leave a comment and go follow us. We're on Apple Music or Apple
Music.
Podcasts. We're on Spotify, all that kind of stuff. So be sure to check us out there and peace out.
Peace.